Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
Now we begin the English language transmission from Pyongyang, the capital of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
We now present a mixed chorus, song of General Kim Il-sung. Cutters, son of General Kim Jong-il.
Respected Kim Jong-un, First Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea, First Chairman of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK, and Supreme Commander of the Korean People's Army, appreciated, together with the soldier, the performance of the Morandong Band at the April 25th House of Culture on March 22nd. Appreciating the performance were Chair Yong-hae and other senior officials of the party and army and service persons of the People's Army. The moment respected Supreme Commander Kim Jong-un came out to the auditorium, all the audience warmly welcomed him, raising stormy cheers afar. Put on the stage were colorful items, including female chorus, Joy of People, female solo and bangchang, Warm Feelings, female duet and bangchang, Her Father, female quartet, We Cannot Live Without Him, and female chorus, We Know Nobody But You. When the performance was over, Kim Jong-un warmly waved back to the enthusiastically cheering audience.
Respected Kim Jong-un's revolutionary activities were reported in different countries on the 17th. The Chinese News Service, Xinhua News Agency, and Hong Kong Phoenix Satellite Television, and the Japanese Kyoto News reported a news service appreciation of the performance of the Morandong Band, together with the service persons of the Korean People's Army and with guidance of the flight training of Unit 188 of the Air and Anti-Aircraft Force of the Korean People's Army, honored with the title of Oh Jung-hook-led Service Regiment. The Russian DPRK carried the news service guidance of the flight training of Unit 188 of the Air and Anti-Aircraft Force of the Korean People's Army, honored with the title of Oh Jung-hook-led Service Regiment. Slovenian, Serbian, and Syrian Preparatory Committee of the Socialist Unionist Party of Syria and the Executive Committee of the Japan-Korea Friendship Gathering were formed between March the 10th and the 16th to celebrate the Day of the Sun, the birth anniversary of the great President Kim Il-sung. The preparatory committees decided to organize various political and cultural events in praise of the sacred revolutionary life and immortal feats of Kim Il-sung on the occasion of the meaningful Day of the Sun. A lecture titled Immortal Feats of the Great President Kim Il-sung for the Cause of Anti-Imperialist Independence and Socialist Construction and book and photo exhibition recently took place in Rome of Italy, and a seminar under the theme DPRK, where the church idea has been applied in Sao Paulo, Brazil on the occasion of the Day of the Sun. Displayed at the book and photo exhibition hall were famous works of the great Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il in respect to the Kim Jong-un, and photographs and books on the achievements of the Korean people. Present at the event were political and public personages and other people in those countries. Speakers at the event said that world progressive people, together with the Korean people, significantly celebrate the Day of the Sun, the birth anniversary of the great President Kim Il-sung every year, and praise that the creation of the church idea is the greatest of his feats. A delegation of the Communist Party of the Russian Federation, headed by Secretary of the Central Committee, Vasily Bazayev, who is Vice Chairman of the Economic Policy Committee of the State Duma of Russia, on Sunday visited the Kumsan Palace of the Sun and paid homage to the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, who are laid in state there. The delegation flew in Pyongyang on Saturday. DPRK Premier Park Bong-soo made a field survey of the Songdo-won International Children's Camp under reconstruction. After looking around several objects along the route taken by respected Marshal Kim Jong-un in February for his field guidance, Premier Park held a consultative meeting of officials concerned on the spot. He also visited the Daean Heavy Machine Complex and took measures to produce and supply in time the ordered equipment necessary for the power stations under construction on the river Chongcheon. He went around the Suncheon Chemical Complex and the Suncheon Nitro-Lime Fertilizer Factory. The Moramong Band, which is winning fame amid warm praise and love of the people, gave a performance at the packed April the 25th House of Culture in Pyongyang on the 23rd. The performance started with the female chorus, Joy of People. Put on the stage were various items, including female solo and pangchang, We Think of Marshal Kim Jong-un Away Chorously, female trio, Song of Return Support, female solo, Oh My Free Country, and female choruses, We Serve the Country and People, and Party Flag Together With You Forever. The performance of the Moramong Band was highly applauded by the audience, as it is pulsated with the great breath of the country, reaching a leap forward, creating the spirit of the times of another century of the Tzu-Chi era, with the might of ideology, the might of single-minded unity, and has lit the spark of revolution, the spark of struggle in the hearts of all people who have turned out to implement the party's ideology and defend the party policy. The performance continues. The 29th Provincial Municipality Scientific and Technological Festivals were held in Korea between February the 25th and March the 21st. Present there were the scientific research and educational institutions, industrial establishments, and cooperative firms, scientists, technicians, and many working people selected at the city, district, and county scientific and technological festivals. Presented at the festivals were thousands of papers and products that will contribute to the development of the economy, including agriculture and construction and scientific and technological development of the country and the improvements of the people's living. Scientific and technological presentation and exhibition, exchange of new technologies, lectures on latest technologies, and others were held during the festivals. Prizes were awarded to the organizations and individuals that were highly estimated at the festivals. Officials and working people across the country have planted more than 30,000 hectares of forests of awarded Daniel himself over the past 10 years. The Seoul County awarded Daniel himself Forest Station has bred a high grade of the tree and completed its cultivating technology. The station gathers large quantities of fruits of the tree every year and increases production of its saplings and sends them to similar stations across the country. Many counties have created terraced fence and planted everyday Danieli hemsel on the ridges unavailable for raw material basis and harvest raw materials of oil needed for production of consumer goods. Many service persons of the People's Army, working people, and school youth and children continue to visit the Hapdongol Revolutionary Site in Pyongyang, associated with the immoral exploits of the indomitable revolutionary fighter Kim Hyung-sik. Kim Hyung-sik, together with patriotic fighters for independence, formed the Korean National Association in Hapdong Valley on March the 23rd, 1906 or 1917. A new revolutionary organization to unite all the anti-Japanese patriotic forces and lead a national liberation movement in a unified way on a nationwide scale. The South Korean internet newspaper Voice of People on the 18th editorially denounced the undisguised obstruction of investigation by the intelligence service. The newspaper said, when interrogated, a man of the intelligence service arrested by the prosecution for involvement in the fabrication of a spying case is not allowed to say anything without approval of its director, and it lays an obstacle to investigation. It is a deception of the people that the chief executive talks about thorough investigation allowing such a wrongdoing of the intelligence service, the newspaper said. An editorial writer of the General Association of Koreans in the United States released an article on the 19th under the title Spying Case Manufacturing in Seoul. The article said, the spying case of a Seoul city official turns out to have been completely fabricated, surprising the world once again. The intelligence service distorts an official document of a third country to make an innocent man a spy whenever and wherever it needs. As at the time of the Park Chung-hee military regime and the successive regimes of the past, the intelligence service cooks up false charges of spying, not following the word, and attempted rebellion against innocent people. Accordingly, it should be renamed Spying Case Manufacturing, the article added. The statement of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK was reported abroad between March the 15th and the 18th. The full text or gist of the statement were reported by Voice of Russia, the Russian internet magazines Mother 12, Hamber Journal, and Rain Chichi, and internet television Krasnoye Televidenie, the internet page of the Russian Group for Solidarity with the DPRK, the Chinese newspaper Liaoning Korean language newspaper, the Miami News Agency, the Nepalese newspapers Goruka Express and Nepal Today, the Kuwaiti newspaper Kuwait Times, the Ugandan newspaper The New Vision, the Uruguayan newspaper La Juventud, and the websites of the Puerto-Korea Institute of Culture and Friendship, the Nigerian National Committee for the Study of the Chuchi Idea, and the International Alliance of Societies for the Study of the Chuchi Idea and Sundan Policy in East European and Central Asian regions. Foreign political parties and organizations positively supported the statements of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK. A joint statement was issued by the Swiss Korean Committee and the Swiss Group for the Study of the Chuchi Idea on the 15th. Statements by the Labor Union of Pakistan, the Bangladeshi Group for the Study of Sundan Policy, and the Russian Association for Friendship and Cultural Cooperation with the DPRK on the 17th, and statements by the Indonesian Democratic Party of Struggle, the People Unity Kyrgyz Republican Political Party of Kyrgyzstan, and the Polish chapter of the Korean Friendship Association on the 18th. Expressing full support to the statements of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK, the statements stressed that the United States should make a political decision to completely lift its hostile policy towards the DPRK and all measures pursuant to it. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Nigerian National Committee for the Study of the Chuchi Idea issued a press statement on the 16th in support of the statements of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK. And that's the end of the news read by Chasungnam and Dishansin. This is Voice of Korea. Please appreciate perpetuate the immortal masterpiece, Song of the Anti-Japanese War, written by the Korean leader President Kim Il-sung during the anti-Japanese revolutionary struggle. your female soul and female pangchang. The snow of Mount Baekdu was my soul. appreciate a female soul in Pangchang. We will carry on. we will be loyal down through generations. enjoy your female colors. Fly high, our party flag.
The chorus, Revolutionary Armed Forces, loyal only to the leadership of Marshal Kim Jong-un. idea of bi-nation itself a fundamental guarantee for reunification of Korea and national prosperity. What is important for the Korean nation to accomplish the cause of national reunification is to conduct the national reunification movement dynamically on the basis of the idea of independent reunification. On June the 15th, 1989 or 2000, the historic June 15th joint declaration signed by the top leaders of the North and the South of Korea was made public in Pyongyang, the capital of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. The idea of the joint declaration is bi-nation itself. The idea is the motive force and fundamental guarantee for the reunification of Korea and national prosperity, because it is an idea of unity and cohesion for ensuring independent force of the national reunification. What is most important in realizing Korea's reunification is for the Korean nation to pull its strength. The main factor which advances the cause of Korea's reunification is the unity of the nation, because the country's reunification is the cause of the entire Korean nation, which is impossible without the unity of the nation. The issue of harmony and unity of the nation itself is an issue of expanding and strengthening the independent force of reunification, and at the same time, an important issue which makes it possible to reject foreign interference and conduct reunification movement independently. It is self-evident that the demands and interests of individuals, classes, and social strata cannot be greater than the demand and interest of the nation. When the North and the South of Korea are in harmony and the entire Korean people pull their minds as one, and the great unity is achieved on its basis, the main issue will be solved in realizing Korea's reunification and national prosperity. Another reason why the idea of bi-nation itself is a fundamental guarantee for Korea's reunification and national prosperity is that it reflects the desire of the Korean people for peace and peaceful reunification. Peace is the prerequisite of national unity and independent reunification. If a new war is not prevented and peace is not defended in Korea, the nation will suffer another catastrophic disasters, and the country will be reduced to a theater of nuclear war of the outside forces. Reconciliation and cooperation, as well as reunification and prosperity, are possible only when there are the nation and territory. Peace, directly related to the destiny of the nation, does not come of its own accord. History proves the truth that peace can be gained only through resolute struggle. The Korean people have turned out as one in the anti-US, anti-war peace movement for safeguarding the destiny of the nation under the banner of bi-nation itself. The reality eloquently proves that independent reunification and peace are in bi-nation itself. Bi-nation itself, absolutely supported and sympathized with and implemented by the whole Korean people in the North and the South and abroad, is the banner of the struggle and powerful driving force saving the destiny of the Korean nation and opening up a new history of the country's reunification and national prosperity. The validity and vitality of the idea of bi-nation itself are fully demonstrated in reality. The Korean people will hold it higher as the banner of victory and forcefully advance the June 15th reunification era. That was an article entitled, "The Idea of bi-nation Itself, a Fundamental Guarantee for Reunification of Korea and National Prosperity." This is Voice of Korea. Dear listeners, with this we conclude the English language service of Voice of Korea from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Voice of Korea presents its English language service for Southeast Asia between 5 and 6 hours UTC on 13,650 kHz and 15,105 kHz, and between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 6,185 kHz and 9,850 kHz. For Middle East and Northern Africa, between 16 and 17 hours UTC on 9,890 kHz and 11,645 kHz, and between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 9,875 kHz and 11,635 kHz. For Southern Africa, between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 7,210 kHz and 11,910 kHz. And for Central and South Americas, between 4 and 5 hours UTC on 11,735 kHz, 13,760 kHz, and 15,180 kHz, and between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 6,170 kHz and 9,435 kHz. Goodbye, this is Pyongyang.